Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this third-party figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at the Doctor Wu Fireball figure, which I'm sure you can tell is a third party's take, but albeit a very small version of Artfire. So in this video, we're going to have a quick look at him in both of his modes. We're going to have a look at other figures that have shared the same mold. We'll compare him with the original and Generations figure himself. And of course, we're going to have a quick look at the packaging because it is quite nice, to be honest. I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. And also to thank Shozy, because that's where this came from, and it came to me nice, quickly and safely. So yeah, here's the packaging. Because, as I say, he's made by Doctor Wu, because he transforms, they don't have the license, so they can't call him Artfire, so he's called Fireball. He does come packaged with their version of exhaust, but this video is just going to concentrate on Artfire. There's some actual product images there on the one side, and I think I'll just keep that there because that's him there for now. He does come with a collector's card, which again, to be honest, is a total other rip-off from Takara. It's got the stats and it's got English and I think Japanese writing on the back. I could be wrong, but there you go. You can let me know in the comments. You can read that at your leisure. And he also comes with some instructions, because even though he's Micromaster size, most of these have exactly the same transformation processes as the Earthrise or Generations figures, which is crazy considering how small he is. He's literally the same size as your the Micromaster figures that were in the Wolf Cybertron toy lineup. We'll have a quick look at that again in a second, but to give you an idea, I suppose, in this particular mode, here is your industry standard Earthrise Prime, and he's absolutely tiny, which you can see there. Here, I'll have him in robot mode as well in a second. There is your core class Optimus Prime. That is an official Takara World's Smallest Alert figure. So again, Takara, we're first at making these small Micromast size figures, but then they just seem to have stopped, in all honesty. I wish they'd continue because they are great, as you'll see by these little ones here. So just bringing in a few more figures for you to see the size. There's another Doctor Wu, that's Prime. That's a New Age Hoffer. What else have I got knocking around here? I've got quite a few things, to be honest, but they're mainly for when we get him into robot mode. Last one, there's a huge deluxe drag strip. So as you say, hopefully you've got the impression now of just how small he is. Sorry, one last one, original G1 Prime. There we go. Yep, so he's tiny, as I say, Micromaster scale size, but the detail on him's really good. All of the wheels you can see are individually pinned. They all go around, no problems whatsoever. The ladder will lift up, fold out, and again, you've got articulation. You can spin it all the way around. It'll go up, it'll go down, it'll fold inside itself. The hose pipe again does the same. These, of course, are more for robot mode, but you can move them out and about. But to be honest, yeah, there's not much more to say about it. There's another use of the mold. Doctor Wu do what Hasbro, Takara, New Age, and every other company I can think of do. They reuse the molds over and over again to give us different versions and variations of figures. But here we go. Let's get him into robot mode, which is the way that I'm going to be displaying him. So as I said, very similar to the Earthrise with this. Fold the legs out, slide the foot down, and like so, that'll come all the way down and slide over. We can then take the shoulders. These are going to pop into the sides here. You need to sometimes be quite forceful as you're pushing that down. Rotate the biceps to get the correct orientation, like so. Right, the head is tucked away obviously quite neatly inside here, so we're going to extend this all the way out even more. I think this is more like New Age rather than the Earthrise. I can't really remember, but as you can see, it's going to fold over loads and loads. We're going to turn the head the right way round, get it flush, and then there's two little tabs either side which have just, as you saw, popped into place there. We can tuck this and just condense it up a little more, like so, just to, again, just tidy it up, which looks good. And then we can bring these around like that, and then that is him in his robot mode. I'm going to zoom in a second for you guys just so you can see the detail on him, but before we do so, the reason why I'm keeping him like that is, again, this may blow your mind just after watching that transformation, how small he is. So let's bring in the small guys first. There's your official core class figures. Then I've got the Hot Wheels Optimus, which again is tiny. We'll start to build up the size as I go along. There's a standard deluxe. Oh, I say standard deluxe, so what? We're not even talking up to hips there, nowhere near. Some, as I say, of the deluxes, which are a bit taller than others. Again, we're now starting to dwarf him, as we'd expect. There's your Earthrise Prime, which again is completely dwarfing him. In fact, I've got one of his Target Masters. It's not much smaller than them, funnily enough, is it? It's not much smaller at all. Or the Battle Masters that were again in the War for Cybertron toy lineup. About that sort of size, to be honest. Right, what else am I bringing in? Let's bring in, this is an official world's smallest Takara Starscream. I need to reattach his wings. So again, about the same sort of size. And I do keep saying it over and over again. I just wish they would pick up the line again themselves. Then they wouldn't have to have third-party companies making these figures. Anyway, there is some Artfire figures. This is the original one. That's why he hasn't got all of his bits. But that is the New Generations one you can see there. So huge differences in size. Let's lower this down a little bit. Let's zoom in and let's move these out of the way. I just kept them there, as I say, kept it that size just to give you an idea, I suppose, of just how small he is. So if I bring him close, you can see he's going to have, don't get me wrong, it's really awkward, but he does have articulation in the head. You can turn it round. As you've already seen, the shoulders are ball and socket, so you can come all the way. I say all the way, it's slightly restricted, but you can lift up, but you can go all the way around, no issues. There's a swivel at the bicep and a flexion because, again, it's a ball joint. No waist swivel, unfortunately, but the legs will allow you to go splits either way due to the fact that, once again, they're ball joints. There's a knee bend, there's an ankle tilt, rock, pivot, everything. There's loads going on with this tiny little figure. I need to lower it even more, and again, probably zoom in even more as well. Right, there we go. So that's 2 times zoomed in there. It was 1.9. It's gone to 2 times 0 zoom in to give you an idea of how big he is. The brilliant thing is as well, he also has a tiny little accessory, which will also just fit. Now, I always seem to get this wrong, and I don't know why, because it shouldn't be that difficult. I think it's only designed for one particular hand, but anyway, it's gone on that way. It's gone on that way. There's his nozzle, and again, looks great. Detail painting on the window and the headlights is fantastic. As I said, there's your official Earthrise Micromaster. And then we've got a few Doctor Woos, because I do like these on the channel. If you've never seen any of these before, there is a huge playlist now of all of these figures. And again, what they do, which is different to Takara, they obviously, Takara concentrate on the Micromasters, whereas Doctor Woo just concentrate on, let's give you all the main characters, which for me I think is why it's fun. And I'm sure the people who do collect these, again, will confirm and concur in the comments that what makes them so great is the fact that they just scale so well with the Hasbro Titan class figures, and indeed some of the Commander class, because when you've got them in base mode, it's a lot of fun to be able to play around, as I say, with these. They are absolutely tiny. This is a Dino King bot, which again was absolutely tiny, and I don't think there's much more to say. I think you can obviously tell that I really like them, purely, as I say, just because they are toys at the end of the day and they're fun, and that's what really sort of matters to me. So there you go, guys. That is Doctor Woo's Fireball, their take on a teeny tiny version of Artfire. Oh, very quickly, official Takara Optimus Prime as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. They are great fun, and they are quite cheap as well. Check out the link in shows if you want to get any yourself. Take care.